Good evening.
Yes, good evening. Welcome to the committee. You may proceed, and please try to keep your comments to 3 minutes. We have a lot of people testifying. Go ahead.
Yes, mine are fairly short, and I'm actually combining both two bills, S540 and S468. Is that okay?
Oh, yes, certainly. Please. Go ahead.
Yes. Okay. My name is Donald Round, and I'm here to testify on behalf of myself in support of two Senate bills. S540, the Clean Air and Water Act, also known as Green Justice Zones, and S468, the Agriculture Jobs Bureau Act. Both bills are very important to me as a concerned citizen and as the grandfather of a 3-year-old and a 2-month-old. They are going to grow up in a world very different to and less healthy than the one I grew up in. And I want to work as hard as I can to preserve and protect the world they will inherit from all of us. My senator is Joshua Miller, whom I know to be a strong supporter of better governmental policies to support and improve the environment and to support those citizens and families who are less economically advantaged. I am hoping that he is in support of these bills. In regard to S540, Green Justice Zones, as a clinical psychologist working in medical hospitals, rehabilitation hospitals, and skilled nursing facilities, I've seen firsthand the ravages of lung disease that can make the simple act of breathing a struggle. Our South Providence residents, especially those in the area of the Port of Providence, suffer disproportionately from the effects of environmental pollutants. I recall visiting a middle-aged man during one of his many visits to Miriam Hospital after he had passed out and awakened there, where he was well known and liked. He did not smoke. He simply had lived most of his life in an area with increased incidence of lung and respiratory illness due to the toxic pollution from the insufficiently regulated activities of industries involved in the preparation and transport of materials via the Providence Port. As regards the S219 Housing Jobs Department, I believe that helping Rhode Islanders lead good, stable, socially productive lives via targeted interventions in job training and job support for living wage jobs in non-polluting industries, provision of adequate low-cost and energy-efficient housing, and income assistance to meet housing costs when needed is extremely important. With regard to the above, it is my understanding that a quarter of Rhode Island renters spend 50% or more of their outcome on rent. This is outrageous. As one of your constituents, I ask that each of you represent the interests of all Rhode Islanders, not just the wealthy and powerful, and fight to pass Senate bills S540 and S219. I know as a clinical psychologist, I did a postdoctoral fellowship in neuropsychology at Harvard Medical School, that significant substantive behavior change is always hard. The members of the Texas board who manage the electrical grid were not disposed to make much change, despite clear warnings that they were skating on thin ice, until they, preserving the metaphor, fell through. Make no mistake, we are in a similar situation as regards so many of the threats which loom in front of us and will affect us, and especially our children and children's children, whether we ignore them or not. These bills will go a long way toward ensuring a better future for our children and their children. Please support them.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you, Mr. Round.